Welcome to This is Australia and Beyond. On today's episode, we're going to be interviewing some Greek Australian performers and what their views are on Sydney, Athens and Los Angeles theatre. But first, let's have a look on what we discussed in our previous episode.
I love that you can go to the beach there and have whatever you want. You want your coffee, you want your breakfast, you want to stay all night and dance, you want to drink alcohol, you want to have a few cocktails. You walk in, you pay for your sunbed, you pay for your little umbrella, and whilst you're there, you get your food, you get your drinks. I think in a way it's a great system because it works so well. It will, yes. I mean, look at this. Look how so much could have been done with this amazing strip of sand. So much more. I think it's a shame when you see a wonderful beach, a famous beach, for example, Bondi, where the best land is reserved for the cars to park.
Herodion is the oldest operating theatre in the world.
That's right, yeah.
So there are over 200 theatres in Athens operating at the moment. So how does the nightlife in Athens compare to Sydney?
We have so many laws, you have to be there by that time or you have to be out at that time, or it's now last drinks. There's so many restrictions, and of course it's you're also restricted in what you can drink now too, and how much.
Winter, summer, there are people out and about all the time.
A lot of the people have siesta. I think that helps a lot. When you've had a nap in the middle of the day, it gives you that extra vitality and boost to get energized for the evening. And you can see that the Athenians go out for dinner and no one goes out before 10 p.m. The shops are open till 9, some nights of the week. And then they're so fresh and excited, and they're out again at 10 or 11 o'clock for dinner, and they hit the clubs at 1 in the morning. We don't have those choices in Sydney. We are too governed, whereas Athens, you're free.
What about the price range compared to Sydney, dining out in Sydney to dining out in Athens? How do you compare that?
Oh, it doesn't compare because the amount of food that you get to the price that you pay is it's uncomparable. So Sydney's obviously, there are beautiful flavours and great cuisines here, and a variety of cuisines, although the prices are astronomical compared to the prices in Greece. At the bakery, there's a massive variety of food, sweets, sandwiches, it's a huge selection.
Whereas you go into a bakery in Sydney, what would you get normally from a bakery? It's pretty basic bread or...
I'd say your breads, and bakeries here are a little bit different. You get your variety of breads and possibly a bacon and egg roll of some sort, some scrolls.
A bakery in Athens is anything that is baked, from sweet and savoury.
Yes.
So it could be 2-storey, 3-storey, and it'll be so many fridges of every sweet under the sun. That is what they call a bakery in Athens, whereas in Sydney a bakery is somewhere that they only make bread.
Athena, while you were in Athens, you caught up with a friend of yours, a Sydney-sider, who married an Athenian and has actually chosen to move and live in Athens. We're going to catch up with Tina, Athena's friend, to find out how she feels and her experiences of living in Athens.
I'm here in a taverna in Voula called Gnisio, and I've just bumped into a wonderful lady, and she has moved from Sydney to Athens 35 years ago, and she's going to tell us about her experience in this historic city. Hi Tina, thank you for being here today. So tell us about your experience in Athens.
The reason I decided to stay in Athens was back in 1981 I decided to come for a holiday. So coming here for a holiday, I really enjoyed my stay. Instead of staying for 6 weeks, I ended up staying 11 months. I went back to Australia, then after 16 months I decided to come back because I feel very, very Greek and I think I belong here, although my family lives in Australia. So during 1983 coming back, after a few months, I happened to meet my husband. So because I fell in love, I got married, have a family, and I'm very, very happy that I am in Greece. I'm very proud that I'm Greek. I found, Athens completely different to the way I used to live in Sydney. Not that Sydney is not a nice place, but I think Athens has really fascinated me. It fascinated me meaning I had a lot of freedom. I felt very secure. There was no crime. So, I could go out anytime I want during the night and come back anytime.
So tell us about the locals, the people of Athens. What are they like?
If we talk about the Greeks in general, but all over Greece, everybody's very friendly and we're very hospitable. And we always have a happy face on because we live in a beautiful country and we're very, very lucky to live in a country like Greece because we can go out anytime during the day or in the evening. Our food is great. Our nightlife is great, the weather is great. During summer we have like 6 or 7 months non-stop good weather.
Tina, I've noticed in other countries, the lifestyle is where people work from 9 to 5. And after work they would go home, have their dinner, unwind and go to bed.
That's right. No. This does not happen here. In Athens we all do work and we work 8 to 4. So we come home a bit earlier than the other countries. Apart from that, we have an afternoon nap. Not everybody, but a lot of people do have an afternoon nap. But then in the evening, we all go out. We don't stay home, we don't stay indoors. We go outdoors and we might go out just for a glass of wine or a coffee or have dinner. But we do go out and this is amazing.
Now, do you think that contributes to the lifestyle and the way that people live and their health and happiness?
Yes, of course it does, because it gives us a lot of energy. Having a nap in the afternoon, it gives us more energy. So what happens is when the shops open in the afternoon, we all go out, we might do a bit of shopping, and in the meantime, we might stop and have a coffee. So this means we're outdoors. And then we continue on till very late in the evening. We might go and have... That's right, we might have dinner or then we might end up going to a nightclub.
I love this lifestyle. I think I'm going to move here.
You should.
This is great. Happy to be here and they enjoy the weather and the sky and the sand and
That's right. We have
the water here is just glowing. Everything just glows.
That's right. We have the sun, we have good climate, we have good food, we have beaches, we have nightlife, so we have everything. We are blessed.
City.
We are blessed.
So Tina, I don't know, I've struggled because during my stay here in Greece, I've put on a lot of weight. This food is incredible.
The food,
I know.
We have great food. I mean, for someone that comes for holidays in Greece, yes, it's very affordable. But because, we have an economic crisis at the moment for the past so many years and continues, and it's going on and on. Of course, for us Greeks, we find it a bit expensive. It's sad because, we have a beautiful country, which is sad we can't really enjoy it as much as we used to.
I've noticed Athens has a lot of theatres here. More theatres here than anywhere in the world.
That's right. That's correct. We have a lot of open theatres where we can enjoy during summer because it gets very hot. You don't want to stay anywhere indoors. You want something outdoors. So we're very lucky.
So tell us about the beaches here in Athens.
You never get the opportunity to have beaches very close to a very busy city, which is like Athens. Where I live, it's only a 2-minute walk and I'm on the beach. At the same time, while I'm having a swim, I can have my lunch as well there, which is, you can have lunch outside with no rain during summer and people are very friendly.
Yes, I've noticed that your beaches are amazing with great amenities, where you have some great sunbeds you can lie on and you can order your coffee and even food. Yeah.
Well, that was Tina sharing with us her love for Athens. Any chances that she would actually move back to Sydney with her husband?
Oh, I don't think so. I think she's loving the lifestyle and she does have a great life there.
Living the dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Girls, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Rula,
My
Athena,
pleasure.
thank you for sharing your experiences. We'll be right back with another special guest sharing their moments with us in Athens. We're lucky to have with us two of the founders of Blue Stage Theatre, Aki and Vageli. Vageli, can you tell us a little bit about how Blue Stage Theatre was formed?
It was formed by fluke, I guess. It was formed by accident. I used to do a theatrical play, a part of a Sydney Greek dancing school. We used to do a theatrical sketch once a year. And Maria, my wife, asked me to just do this play with Karagyosi, and we attempted it, but we needed help. We couldn't do it. It was too many. It was long roles, an important role, characters that they knew. So we couldn't just make up these characters. They were known
So
characters.
Karagyosi is like a puppet theatre. It's
Shadow theatre, but we did it as normal theatre. And me and Aki sort of took it off. We had a really good time performing. And after we finished, he goes to me, "Why don't you come over here with me?" And I said, "Where are we going?" And he took us over to the theatre group that was at the time. There was no other theatre, Greek theatre team at the time, which was the Hellenic Art Theatre. And he took us there, and we spent one performance there together. And we wanted to do something new and our own. And I sort of pushed him a little bit towards that way, and it's come about.
So Aki also has a lot of experience in Greece, performing in Greek plays and theatre there. So
That's
you
true.
brought that expertise here to Sydney with a lot of the Greek.
Well, he's our teacher. We don't know anything. We're learning from him now.
I've seen your performances and I think they're absolutely amazing. So he's obviously very talented.
He is. He's got his vision. I think is one of his best gifts. He's a bit quiet about it, but he's got great vision.
And I think his expertise of the history of Athens and the theatre there, having that knowledge of your teachers and the experience that you've taken from
Yes,
them.
I use some experience from my school too.
Vagili, why would you say that the Athenians appreciate and enjoy theatre far more than they would in, say, Sydney or Los Angeles?
Because the theater in Greece is in Athens actually is a part of their life. So many groups theaters, so many theaters over there, over 200 theaters. So it's a part of the life. When you go to one street in Athens, the Panepistimiou, most of the theaters over there.
Okay, so they're all together.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You can see the posters, everything. So you have choices. So you can choose whatever you want. Every day you have to. You can watch theater every day.
And this is passed down to generations.
Yeah.
Parents take their children to the
Exactly.
theatre and therefore they learn about
Because the
theatre.
theater is a big celebrate for the Greek people. So every Sunday, every Saturday, the family goes to theater
Nice.
together, watching theater, and the parents pass to the kids, and the kids pass to the grandkids, and go like this.
So they live and breathe theatre.
Exactly.
Olga, you have a very weird fact for us when it comes to theatre in general. Can you share that with us?
Actually can't wish good luck to a performer. You have to say break a leg.
Why is that?
Well, there's many theories to why that would be. One of the theories has to do with the Athenian ancient theatre. At the end of the performance, the audience used to stamp the legs instead of clapping. And the harder they would stamp the legs, the more they would show that they appreciate the show. And I guess the harder they will stamp their feet, like they probably will break a leg. So
So basically an actor would hope that someone in the audience would stamp their feet so hard that they would actually break a leg.
exactly.
Well, that sounds very interesting and weird. Margarita, you have spent your life between Athens and Sydney. Being a performer in the theatre, how can you compare Athenian theatre to Sydney theatre?
You can't compare Athens theatre to Sydney's theatre because Athens theatre goes back 2,500 years. The oldest play in existence is the Persians, written by an Athenian.
Maria, you being a dance teacher, how do you think Athenian dance compares to, say, Sydney or Los Angeles?
Oh, look, Maria, it does not compare Athenian dance. It goes right back to ancient times. We've been dancing for centuries. It's something that has come along from generation to generation, passed down to us. Even though it has evolved, still the traditions are there, kept. The Athenians dance for every occasion, sad for weddings, for christenings, for.
So it's the communities getting together.
Yes, the communities get
to
together.
enjoy dance, as opposed to, say, Sydney and Los Angeles, where.
Oh, well, a big difference there. I think in Los Angeles and Sydney, getting together would be getting together with a couple of friends or even a big party, and it's all about maybe having a drink and getting really drunk, I guess. And that would be a good time. Whereas I think the Athenians, we have a different sort of mentality. We like to get together, have a drink, but there's always food served with our drink, our music, our dances.
So you see the families,
Yes.
grandparents and children all in a circle,
Together.
dancing together, bonding.
That's right.
Whereas
And the little ones
in
always
Sydney-
learn from the older.
So
the energy.
dances that are back in the original dances of the gods, we still dance today with pride and passion.
Of course, the most ancient dance we have today is a dance called Tsakonikos, which goes right back to the time of Odysseus, where he killed the Minotaur in the labyrinth. So that goes way back in time, and we still dance this dance today. And there's so many things we can say about our culture and our dancing. The way we hold hands when we dance in a circle, which a circle never ends. It goes round and round. There's no end. There's no beginning, no end. The way we hold hands, we give outright. We take our left,
Beautiful.
which means we give and take. Us Greeks, we don't just take. We don't just give.
right.
We give and take.
Beautiful.
Yeah. There's a lot to our culture.
So yeah, how do you compare that?
You cannot.
So in Sydney, so we have these huge festivals that take place, and then everybody is there having a great time, supposedly their interpretation of a great time. Most times it's forgotten because they are quite wasted, or there are a lot of police around to stop any kind of violence, whereas in Greek Athenian type places, clubs and things, you don't really see any police, and people leave at early hours.
Yeah.
They've had a great dance.
Yeah, and they stay till all hours of the morning, and still they've gone home saying that was a good time, because we had the music, we had those the dances, and yes, the food and the drink is there always. And you go to Omiros, and he talks about how the Greeks and they dance always out in the sun. Yes, there was food, there was drink, but we'd always be dancing out in the sun. So there's that panigiri that came.
And with the theatre, dance was also a big part of theatre in Greece as well. So you have both those forms of
course.
entertainment
It's always,
together.
It goes hand in hand, the theatre and dance. Both theatre, obviously, as we know, goes back in ancient times. As we said, Greek dancing as well. The Herodion Theatre is the oldest operating theatre in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's in Athens.
Yes, it is. It's in Athens. Back in the old times it was operated, and it's still operating now. So dance and theatre goes hand in hand. In ancient times, it was considered, if you didn't know how to dance, you were uneducated.
Really?
Yeah.
A very famous movie called Zorba, the Greek, filmed by a Hollywood production, actually shows the Greek traditional dance. So is it Zorba? Is that what the actual dance is called? Or?
The actual dance is called Sitaki. It's Zorba. It's got its name from obviously this movie. So yeah, the actual dance is called Sirtaki.
Do you know this dance? It's the Sirtaki. Oh! Hey! 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 Hey!
it's one nice combination of Sydney and Los Angeles
Yes, it certainly
coming
is.
together to make a historical movie.
Very true.
What's one of the most popular dances in history, in Greek history, that's now still performed today?
The Chasapiko, I'd say. Chasapiko.
And what is that exactly?
Well, look, Chasapiko, there's a few theories on how Chasapiko came about. Chasapiko, the one that I have been taught is Chasapis, is obviously the butcher. This is the butcher's dance, Chasapiko. The butcher used to, at the end of the week, cut the meat, whatever was left over. They'd have the barbecue and they'd eat and drink. And as they drank a little bit more, the Chasaposerviko came along, which Chasaposerviko is a little bit faster version of Chasapiko, fast Chasapiko. And then we drank a little bit more and it came the Zebekiko.
Performance, a community performance. It has a history.
Yes.
Sydney, Los Angeles style dancing is let's go with the flow. It's just
Yeah.
a new dance move.
That's right. You know, for
This is it.
themselves, just have a, you know, Los Angeles sort of dancing, I guess, would be a personal sort of.
Dance that the Athenians love to dance still today is the Zebekiko. Tell me a little bit about the history of that.
And he feels like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And you see the men with their hands up, or the women, but yeah, mainly the men with their hands up. And you see them crouching down and dancing. You see that they look like they have the world problems on their back.
So they're kind of balancing.
Yes, yeah. They're
And
balancing the world on their
Wow.
shoulders. Yes.
Fascinating.
It is, it is.
Nice story. So Maria, you have your own Greek dance school. Tell us a little bit, why did you choose to do Greek dance?
Well, my father was involved with the church. I was a child, and one of his jobs was to help out with the dancing school. And I'd go along and help out as well, and it became a passion. And then when my teacher retired, I took over her dancing school.
Well, that's it from us here today on This is Australia and Beyond. We look forward to seeing you again next week when we have some more exciting topics to discuss.